If you're a real estate investor or a wholesaler and you want to do more deals, or you want to get your first deal, then you need leads. And the best way to get leads right now is online marketing, specifically Facebook and TikTok. And so the question comes up is, Chico, how much am I going to pay for these leads? And that's what I'm going to cover in this video. In fact, here's what I'm going to cover. I'm going to give you a cost breakdown per platform on the following: nationwide campaigns, state level campaigns, city campaigns, tight geographic targeting campaigns, and premium market campaigns. And I'm going to share with you the actual screenshots of the ad accounts, so then that way you know exactly what it's going to take. Because you may not realize this, but if you're paying pay-per-lead companies for leads and you're spending 75, 100, 150, many of these companies are getting the same leads. These leads are getting them on Facebook and TikTok and then charging you extra for those leads. So you can get the same leads directly for a lot less money. All right, now hopefully this works here. Let's go through the cost breakdown. I'm going to give you general advice, and then we're going to give you show you screenshots as well. All right, so we're going to cover everything. Nationwide, typically with nationwide, you'd want to, like on the high end, acceptable range would be $20 per day. Would be $20 per lead would be on the high end acceptable rate. I'm just trying to get this situated. Now we can get campaigns producing at under $10 a lead as well. There's always fluctuations within Facebook, but generally you definitely want to be under $20 per lead. And the reason why you need to be that cheap when it comes to nationwide leads is because you are going to have a lot of breakage. By that I mean you're going to get leads that are in the middle of nowhere. You're going to get leads that are going to be in great locations, but it's going to be a mixture of a bunch of stuff. Nationwide is great when you're getting a campaign for the first time up and running. You want to make sure you set up everything correctly and you got the leads flowing. And then also nationwide is great if you're brand new in the business and you need the repetition. So you need to talk to more sellers because you need to practice. And so then getting as many leads as you can, as inexpensively as you can, is really that's what you should be doing. Now, nationwide also works great with lower budget. So if your budget is $20 a day, the likelihood is I'm going to recommend a nationwide campaign. Then we have the next one would be state level targeting, where we're targeting a specific state and a grouping of states, generally 12 to 15 states. That'll increase the cost per lead to $20 to $25. It is more expensive than the nationwide, but it would give you less leads in rural areas. You're still going to get rural leads. There's no way to avoid it, but you're going to get less of them. Now, the next step would be the top 95 metro cities. Now, this one here, I'm going to put in here, actually, this is incorrect. It should say 25 to about 30 or so per lead. This is targeting the top, say, 95 cities. You're putting them together, all grouping them together. And so now you're continuing. If you notice, we're going tighter and tighter on geography, which means that then we're continuing to increase the lead quality, but at the same time, the cost per lead will continue to rise as you're targeting tighter and tighter. Now, if you're brand new, I'd recommend this. If you're intermediate, you can actually test through this one and this one, both of them. Now, let's say that you are in a relatively you want leads in very specific markets, i.e., for example, Buffalo, New York, Kansas City, etc. Then you're still going to get less expensive leads than pay per lead. But the cost per lead, now this varies depending on the geography. Some areas have more population than others, so you could be anywhere from a 30 to 35 cost per lead to as high as $50+ per lead. Now this is what I'm looking at here is secondary markets like Kansas City, Indianapolis. You may have some certain cities in North Carolina that you're targeting, and you're taking all of those and you're grouping them together and creating a grouping of all these tight geos. Now, if you're going to be targeting premium markets and or a very highly contested singular market, then your cost per lead will definitely increase, and it could increase as high as $100, $150, $200 per lead, especially if you're in a market like San Diego. Now, is that a bad thing? It's a bad thing if you're brand new in the business looking to get your first deal. I would do this because you're going to pay a lot of money per lead. You're probably not going to be great on the phone, and so then you're going to end up spending a lot of money. So again, you would only do this if you are an experienced person, and also at the same time, if you're able to monetize these leads with other strategies such as novations, then that would be ideal. By the way, if you're interested in getting these ads up and running, we have a few ways we can help you. We can actually, we have a self-guided way where you'll walk through our checklist, get everything set up. We'll look over your shoulder, make sure it's done right. We can actually set it up for you and then deliver it to you, and then you run it. Or we can actually run these campaigns for you too as well, initially, and then hand them over to you. So then that way you're going to be running them, and now you can save money on agency fees and pay-per-lead companies. If that's of interest to you, click the link in the description, and that way we can give you more details on pricing and how that all works. So let's walk through some examples on Facebook. This is a campaign running our top 95 cities. You can see here, this is a relatively newly started campaign. So one important thing is that we can generally get campaigns performing within the first 24 to 48 hours. So if somebody tells you, hey, you're going to need to spend on Facebook for 2 weeks, spend a bunch of money to eventually get a result, that shouldn't happen. Here we have lead cost is an average of $27 per lead. Here's a campaign running at a tighter geographic region. You can see the areas being targeted here below. And here the cost per lead is approximately, you have one campaign that just got $36 a lead. Another campaign was at $45 per lead. So that's the general cost that you're going to be on if you're going to be in a tighter region like this. Now, you also see a campaign here targeting cities. Now remember, I showed you one targeting cities here, which is $27. But here's another one targeting cities at $11 and $10. What makes the difference? You know, Facebook sometimes is like fishing. If you've ever been fishing, you go to the lake and you hit a spot and all the fish are just like biting and it's like heaven. Sometimes you do enough of these campaigns, you'll hit one of those and you just pray to the TikTok and the Facebook gods to let it continue. In any particular ad account, you can have a mixture of different campaigns going. You can have city campaigns and you can have nationwide campaigns. In this example, you have a campaign targeting cities and you have a campaign targeting nationwide. The nationwide is at 12, cities is at 22. So you can mix and match those. Another one here, this is targeting only the Tampa Bay area. So this is a much tighter geographic campaign. The cost per lead is actually still pretty good at $36 per lead. So $36 per lead targeting Tampa. This is one where we're targeting nationwide. Two different campaigns targeting nationwide. They're both going to hit different audiences. And these are at $13 and $11 per lead. Here is, let's see, on this particular one, the client is running cities, only cities across two different campaigns. 19 leads and 33 leads. You can see here at $17 and $17 per lead. This one is a nationwide campaign running. The budget on this one, on some of these, maybe I may have had the budget. Maybe when I took the screenshot, I didn't do the budget. Here, this one's at $12.50. This one is 7 times 4, $28 per day. This one here. These are $21 a day. Just to give you an idea, these are two nationwide campaigns at $15 a day. So a lot of times we find that you're better off creating multiple campaigns to achieve your budget to get better results. These are $9 and $11 per lead. This is a nationwide campaign at $30 a lead. $30 per day, and at $12.87 per lead. Now, nationwide campaigns are not bad campaigns. Here is a text message from one of our clients, less than 24 hours. This client is running this campaign here, nationwide, $30 a day, and less than 24 hours. And he already has Facebook leads under contract, one in Kentucky. And here is, that was his text message here. But these are from this nationwide campaign. So you can still do deals with nationwide. When it comes to higher budgets, then like for example, this one here is a client that's running about $130 to $150 per day. So rather than having one campaign at that price point, now you're having multiple campaigns running, nationwide, city, states, combination of all of them. And you can see the cost per lead across all of them here. This is a campaign for Florida only. This one here ran for Florida only. 2 campaigns, 28 and 11 leads at $20 and 16. I don't have the budget here, but in general, this campaign, I believe, was running at about $35 per campaign. So about $70. So the tighter the geo, the better it is that you expand and increase your budget. Let's talk about TikTok. This is a campaign running TikTok. One nationwide and one states. Cost per lead on this one was $34. Another one was $44 for states. You know, the cost per lead also, keep in mind, is this. Cost per lead is relative to quality. So in other words, you may have a campaign that's running at $5 a lead, but then you might find that that campaign after a couple of days wasn't producing great leads. So you pause that campaign and restart a new one. You may have a campaign that's running at $30 a lead for states, and you might feel that that's a little bit high, but the leads are great and awesome. So you're gonna let that be. So the cost per lead is also, you have to balance cost per lead with lead quality. Here's a campaign that's running, this is an ad account that's running nationwide. These are running at $12, $14 per lead. This is on TikTok. Here's another one, states. This is $50 a day, getting $32 per lead. This is $20 a day at $28 per lead. This one here, 32, these were 21 and 20 states, 32 and 34 per lead. It is easier to achieve a lower cost per lead on Facebook than it is on TikTok. Generally speaking, on TikTok, we have to launch a few campaigns to find one that works, versus Facebook is a little bit easier to get a campaign working right off the bat. Now, a question that comes up all the time, and I put the screenshot here because of that, is people ask Chico, are my prospects on TikTok? And this is from a campaign here, from an ad account here that has a pretty large number of conversions. You can see 632, 378, 272, 129, 57. You can see that the majority of conversions are over the age of 55, 45 to 54, and 35 to 44. So few of them are in that lower age bracket, because a lot of people ask, Chico, aren't they just a bunch of young people on TikTok? The answer is no. And it's shown, you know, you can see it clearly here by the demographics here. So bottom line is that TikTok does produce viable leads, same as Facebook. Now the question becomes is, which one do you start first? Well, both of them are great. Both of them can work. We have clients that use one or the other, and both. You know, to me, it depends on your budget. If you have a low budget, say $20, $30 a day, then I would not recommend splitting your attention, doing both of these simultaneously. Spend more on one than the other. TikTok does require video creatives, versus Facebook. You can do images and videos. With Facebook, like, we help clients get up and running with Facebook. And with Facebook, if we give you videos and images to use, you can use those. Anybody can use those, not a big deal. With TikTok, you can use the same exact video across many accounts. So either A, you have to get a video created yourself or on Fiverr, or if we set it up for you, then we will create a video for you that's unique to you and is not in any other account. Now, the great thing about using Facebook or TikTok ads is that these are warm incoming leads. They are people that are waiting for you to reach out to them, and you generate a large amount of leads. So then that way now you transition from being in a convincing business into the sifting and sorting business. So if you want to know more about that model, take a look at that video there, and you'll learn more about how you can create the ultimate real estate lifestyle business.